What's good? So this is going to be basically like a combo guide for this game. How to create your own combo. Now, when I say how to create your own combos, I do not mean this in terms of like a Devil May Cry 5 player, where they're like, okay, you're going to do XXY and launch him, and then you're going to do this attack, and it's going to hold him in the air for 3.2 seconds, and then you're going to switch to this, and you're going to do this attack, which will keep juggling him, and then do this. That's not like what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about stylish combos. I'm talking about doing it in a way, like being able to build your combos in a way that makes each weapon feel unique. Because I'm seeing a lot of complaints that, you know, the lack of strings, essentially, like X, Y, XX strings, makes the weapons feel underwhelming, which just is not the case. It's just, it works differently than, you know, previous Ninja Gaiden games. And it works very similar to, like, this is what Team Ninja's design philosophy has been going toward for a while now. In Neo 3, for instance, it's not like Neo 2, and a lot of people are bitching about this. In Neo 2, you can basically just hold block, which is your modifier, like kind of like how Blood Raven is your attack modifier in this game. It modifies your attacks. It gives you a unique active skill. Well, in Neo 2, it's holding block that gives you your unique active skill. And people can get away in that game by just kind of like cycling through mashing the different face buttons, and they'll pull cool shit off as long as they like dodge or block when they need to. You really don't need to like be deliberate or like know what attacks you're doing. And you can tell most people that play that game like don't really understand what they're doing once they get to like the higher difficulties where they have the, I guess, ability to combo like that. So in Neo 3 and Rise of the Ronin, they changed this. If you want to combo, you can't just like kind of mash. You have to do the directional input attack when you're like, how do I explain it? You have to do it at a time that makes sense, okay? So you can't just, I also hear a lot of people saying their forward back inputs aren't coming out, their rotate inputs aren't coming out. And what that comes down to is you're doing it at the wrong part of the screen. So if I'm just mashing X and I try to do like my rotate input, it's not gonna work. Like I'm doing rotate X this like entire time, and you know, it's not really working out a lot of the time or working out how I want it to. See, not working, my forward back input's not working. So you need to actually not mash, and again, it's super easy to mash in this game. And you need to do these attacks when like your combo, when your attack string ends. So if you're doing XX and you want to transition that into rotate X, you need to start buffering that rotate X at the end of your XX part of the string, and hit X once the attack ends, if that kind of makes sense. So you want it, you need to time it to like what Yakumo is doing. And that gives you a bunch of different combos. You can do X rotate X, XX rotate X, XXX rotate X, XXXX rotate X. You can mix these in kind of whenever you want. And it literally gives you the ability to like create an endless amount of combo strings. And that's literally just incorporating the forward back X, forward back Y, rotate X, and rotate Y. However, there's even more that you have to be aware of, where you can't just like go all willy-nilly. You need to learn. Each of these has different recovery frames. So if you want to like start using like your own unique combo strings, you need to know the recovery frame like data for each attack. That like, if I do this attack, I really wish like I could not target this fucker. If you do this attack, like that's how long your recovery is. That's a long time, right? So you're left vulnerable when you're doing this. So you need to know how to follow up on that. So if you want to do like an XX, let me see if I can like XX rotate X combo, you need to figure out what you're going to do after that. So you can do XX rotate X, follow up with a Blood Raven attack to cancel out of it, because that gets you out immediately. XX rotate X, jump up on your thing, that's like my own unique combo there. XX, rotate X, different Blood Raven attack. XX, rotate X, Blood Raven attack. So Blood Raven is going to be like a pretty much guaranteed way to finish all of your combos. And you can, you know, do your combos basically however you want in between that. You know, so like X, X, Y, Flying Swallow, Blood Raven. X, X, oops, not what I meant to do. X, X, Y, Flying Swallow, on landing, rotate Y. X, X, oops, god damn it, I keep doing X, Y, just muscle memory. X, X, Y, Flying Swallow, on landing, rotate X, Blood Raven. So you need to be deliberate with like what the fuck you're doing, and that's hard in the heat of the moment, right? That's why there's like a practice session in this game, so you can kind of, even though I'm like very bad, I don't really spend time in the trainings. It's just not really something I enjoy. I know like a lot of people like it, but it's just not me. I've seen groups of Devil May Cry fans and other like action fans who are literally doing nothing but spending all of their time playing this game in the training room with a lifeless infinite health dummy, practicing specific button input combinations for flashy combos, which like that's not the point I'm trying to get at here. What I'm trying to get at here is Team Ninja has been going this route. That's why when people say like it feels more like a Platinum game, I don't think they understand like what Team Ninja's design is or what Platinum's design is. In Platinum games, like I don't like Metal Gear Rising at all, so I really haven't played a whole lot of it, but I've played a fair amount of Bayonetta. I probably put like 100 hours or so across all 3 Bayonetta games, which is enough to like, you know enough to like, you know, have some sort of opinion about it, I feel like. And in Bayo, you don't have to be deliberate. You can like just kind of like do whatever the fuck you want. And I'm not even going to talk about the dodge offset because that's not something I've engaged with. It's just, even in like Bayo, I don't engage with it. It's not on my muscle memory. That shit will come later. But the point is you have like so many ways to kind of create what you want to do. You just have to like be precise with it for one. You can't just randomly start trying to throw out rotate X's and forward back inputs because they're not going to work. You need to, you can input buffer the analog stick part. So like while this attack's going, you can input buffer like the rotate or the back forward, but you cannot input buffer the attack command itself. That has to come out at the proper time. And if you're not doing that properly, your combos aren't going to work, and it's just going to kind of feel like shit. So yeah, that's, you know, I did go over this a bit in my guide, in the like combat guide itself, but I'm still seeing a lot of people saying the weapons all feel the same, which is just like insane to me because like you can do so much different shit with each individual weapon. Like, none of them feel remotely similar. Like, this is one of my combos I like to do with this. X, X, back, forward. Damn it, see, I fucked it up because my timing was imperfect. Like, this is a combo I like to use a lot, and I still don't have the timing down perfectly. So, sometimes my inputs don't come out the way I want it to, right? Which is just, like, there's nothing wrong with that. So, yeah, I don't know. That's really all I wanted to go over. Don't dismiss this game's combat as something super mashy. Don't dismiss each weapon as not having any unique properties, because they all are extremely unique, especially this fucking thing. Like, this thing is so much fun. I like, I don't know. I get such a kick out of the Ninja Box. You can do so many cool things. Damn it, he's like against the wall, so I can't. Literally, there's times where I'm playing Ninja Gaiden 2 just doing this. Just because it's fun. And, you know. But yeah, I hope that helped. Again, this isn't like a flashy combo type of thing, but just focus on one weapon and starting to mix in your directional input attack. you want to buffer input buffer. So you input buffer the rotational or back forward part, the analog part. Hit your attack at the proper time as like it ends. Like you can just kind of like mash X, but you can't mash your input, your directional input attacks. So time that attack after input buffering the analog stick. After the attack, cancel it with Blood Raven. Eventually, you'll learn which attacks have faster frame data that don't need the like a Blood Raven finisher. Also, some of them you can just use shurikens. Shuriken canceling still works. It's just not as good as Shuriken canceling with Ryu. Even in this game, like Ryu Shuriken canceling is better than Yakumo Shuriken. But yeah, I hope that helps. Learn to build your own combos. Learn to use directional inputs. Be more deliberate. Don't spam so much. And have fun exploring each weapon. Peace.